Hey, my name is Eric, and I am here today with Linda Davis, and she is another amazing, amazing client. And she's here to talk about not just the results that she's seen, but talk about everything else in between, what the training is like, what the other people are like, the trainers themselves, and all that information. So, Linda, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and share your story. It's something I really appreciate, and I want to dive right in. And I want people to know, what was it? What were the challenges? What were the big issues that led you to sign up and join?
Join kettlebell. First of all, my pleasure to be here. So like everyone else, I feel a lot of people try different things in life to, get in shape. I did gyms, I did diets, hated it all. Who likes a diet? I was away one summer. I did a lot of eating out, had a great time, but gained a few pounds. On my return, literally the next day I returned from vacation, I saw my cousin and she looked amazing. I looked at her and said, "What'd you do?" And she told me kettlebell. So I had heard of kettlebell actually about 10 years ago. Another client actually of Rob's, but I never knew what it was. She always said, I'm doing this kettlebell. I'm doing this kettlebell class. And, it sounded brutal. It sounded like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. It just sounded tough from the way she would explain it. But again, I saw my cousin and I said, wow, like, I want this. I want to look like you is what I said. So that brought me to the kettlebell club. And here we are 2 years later. And I love it.
You talked about you gained a few pounds. Like, how were you feeling before you joined? Like, was energy good? Like, what was life kind of like before you actually signed up?
I felt like crap. I actually had aches and pains that I didn't know why I had them. I mean, I was not even 50 yet, and my knees would throb, and I didn't know why. I knew I didn't eat the best. But yeah, sore knees. I love to dance. I couldn't even dance anymore because my knees hurt so bad. I couldn't stand on the dance floor. Now 2 years later, nothing. There's no pain. My legs don't hurt. My knees don't hurt. My back doesn't hurt. I would lay in bed before I had started, and my knee would just throb before I got out of bed every day. Uh, you know, and 2 years now, and I've no pain, no pain in my knee. I couldn't even bend down. I can bend down, no problem.
Wow,
And for me, the
I'm
most
gonna,
important part is I feel my body feels better.
and that's the important part. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna dive into that in a second because, right, you were living that way and you're feeling that way, and it probably just, I'm guessing, over time kind of felt it's just normal. It's just what
that's
you
life.
expected, right?
This sucks. Yeah.
And then you'd also mentioned you gained a few pounds over
Yeah.
the time too. Would you were tracking? Did you notice how much you had gained or clothing sizes increased too during
Oh
that?
yeah, clothing sizes kept increasing. I'd gained just in one summer 10 pounds, and every year was a few more and a few more. I did not like the way I didn't even like what I saw in the mirror anymore. I did not like the way things were going. I knew I had to change, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. And again, like I said, I saw my cousin and said, "What did you do? How can I do this? What can I do to look better, feel better?"
And that was the catalyst, right? That was, you
Yep.
saw her. Okay,
Yep.
so you saw her. You're like, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna check this out. Were you nervous at all?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm like, I don't know what to do with these things, right? It's a kettlebell class, but the trainers at the time were awesome, still are awesome. There's a couple of new trainers now, and they're all amazing. Rob is taught us everything we know, teach you how to do things properly. Again, if you don't know what a kettlebell is, you will learn. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what to do with it. And to this day, 2 years later, if I make a mistake or do something wrong, they'll stop you, make sure you're doing it properly. I've increased from 20 pounds when I first started to if anybody, whoever's seeing this video doesn't know what you do with a kettlebell, you swing a kettlebell. I can swing a 50-pound kettlebell. When I tell people, they look at me and say, "Oh my God," like it just sounds crazy, but you learn with the proper technique and you can do anything. You can, and I'm not done increasing my weight of kettlebell. That's for sure.
It's not just kettlebell, though, correct? Right? Like there's
Nope.
other, right? That's just kind of
Yeah,
the
it's
theme,
a
right? There's
high
other things you train.
intensity, short 30-minute workout. Another big thing is I didn't have time for a gym. I didn't have time to, figure out when I was going to go, when I wasn't going to go. I go 4 times a day, or sorry, 4 times a week, 30 minutes a day, and I can make that work, no problem.
the big part of it is that you said you didn't want to go into gyms, right? Like the big
Yeah.
stuff, and this was a little bit different. So can you explain a little bit kind of like what that difference is like, what the energy and vibe is like, so people get a good idea?
So you're doing a class and it's very high intensity, energetic. We got music blaring. The people I've met there are all everybody, is just so supportive and makes you feel good for being there. Nobody makes you feel uncomfortable. They encourage you. That's the important thing. They encourage you to do your best. We're not all at the same level, and that's okay. A beginner could come in and I could be standing next to them and I'll make them feel better and that it's okay to be here and try this, new scary thing because trust me, the results are amazing.
It almost sounds like you have fun.
I do, and I look forward to it. So I'm a very busy mom, family of five. So I'm running with my kids, didn't have time for myself. And now they know if there's something you need, don't bother me. My 30 minutes a day is the most important thing to me. That comes first, and then I will take care of their needs. But everything's scheduled around my workout because I come first now.
And I'm guessing there's a difference in how family sees you now that you're prioritizing things like that.
Yep. And that's the other thing that I want to teach my kids. It's important to look good, feel good, treat your body well because they don't make good decisions. They sit in the room, they watch TV. No, get out there, get moving. They see mom moving, they start moving. They're walking the dog more. They're out there playing tennis and pickleball this summer, things that they did not do in the past. So yeah, if anything, I just want them to see that it's important to keep moving. And for me, that as I get older and older, I want to make sure I can keep moving. I see my elderly parents can't walk, legs are sore, feet are sore, can't walk 100 meters without having to sit down, and I don't want to be like that ever.
And you mentioned that before, right? Your knee, you were having aches and pains and things like that. So going in, if there was a main issue or something like that, is it the kind of thing where there's modifications or
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now, 2 years in, I've got a sore in my arm and we modify so that I'm not hurting it. There's always modifications for everything. If you have a neck ache, you have a backache, your wrist hurts, your knee hurts, your ankle hurts. There's a modification for everything. That's the main thing is they want to make sure we don't get hurt.
so
But
anyone can do it basically?
yeah.
Okay. Now, the other thing I have to ask too is sometimes when you go into gyms and you see some of the ladies or the guys, and they're like, it's a bunch of meatheads or it's like a bunch of 20 somethings wearing basically nothing. Do you see any of that there or no?
No, no, no. We wear comfy leggings or comfy tank tops, t-shirt if you want, shorts. No, it's nothing like that. No one feels like they don't belong. And we're all different sizes. And there was young people. There's my favorite story. There was a 72-year-old lady who worked out with me, and I kept saying, "I'm swinging bells next to this 72-year-old." Like she was amazing. So from 20-year-olds to 70-year-olds, it's for everybody because you just altered the routine for you.
It sounds like from what I'm picking up, it sounds like there's a social aspect where you get to, talk with people too, and maybe there's a friendship that develops between everybody.
For sure, for sure. You get to class, 10, 15 minutes early, you set up and you obviously get to know the people you're working out with and you hear their stories and about their lives. And, for sure you meet people and everybody there, like everybody's amazing. There's not one person that I would not want to, pass by and not talk to or whatnot.
Kind of like a family. That
Yeah,
makes
kind of like a family. It is. They're a kettlebell family. It's awesome.
Okay. Now let's shift gears. You were mentioning some of the things, the benefits you've already seen, right? You were talking about like you haven't had the pain, you haven't done, that type of stuff. Let me dive into that a little bit now because you don't have the pain anymore, correct?
Correct.
What are you able to do now that it was limiting you before? Like there are things now that are like, yeah, I can do this now with no issues.
Well, things like, and without the pain, like hiking, in the summer, we like to go hiking and I'd have to rest or stop. Kids are like, come on, mom. I'm like, you can't, first of all, I was out of shape, so I couldn't breathe. So you'd have to stop a bit. But because I was sore, another reason to stop, but just more, more hiking. And I was doing the playing tennis and kettlebell with my kids this summer, no hesitation. Let's go, um, just moving more, running around a playground with my nephews, where I'd used to just sit and watch. No, now I can move and run and follow them and just move easily. Just be able to move and not be sore is the biggest thing.
With all the kids running around and your family of five and busy working, doing everything, energy must have been like a struggle before.
Yeah,
And how's
yeah.
the energy now?
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I outdo them. Yeah, they're the lazy butts. It's like, come on, let's go. Let's get doing. Let's go do something. Let's go for a walk. Let's take the dog for a walk, you know? So yeah, no, it's good. And like I said, by me moving, it's lead by example. They're kind of following.
How about on the physical side? You'd mentioned, right, you gained some weight, clothing size gone up. Like at the time we're talking now, what have you noticed? How much have you lost?
I'm up to about 40 pounds now. I wouldn't mind losing a few more. Everybody always wants to, but no, I feel good. And if I don't lose any more, it's fine. Now it's about maintaining. And I feel great. Muscle tone. I look in the mirror and I still can't believe that's my body that I'm looking at. And yeah, I just want to keep going and continue to, create a little more muscle, a little more tone. If I drop a few pounds, great. If not, it's all about maintaining, making healthy choices and maintaining what I'm doing. But if I don't, I noticed was away for 2 weeks actually just recently, and I did hurt my foot, so I couldn't work out. So it was 3 weeks, and I did feel a difference of 3 weeks of not going to classes, and I did feel a difference. So I need that. I need that 30 minutes every day, 4 times a week, and it's nothing. And to me, that I get up in the morning, I look forward to my class, and I know that I'll feel great that week if I just make my classes. And if I do that 30 minutes and I don't do anything else that day, I feel good.
Yeah, so the mood is definitely
Oh,
there's a
for
difference
sure.
there.
For sure. When I know I'm not getting to class, even when I'm away, if I'm cheating a bit or, eating a little more, drinking a little more, and knowing that I'm not doing anything, I don't feel so great, but knowing that I am going to do something tomorrow, then yeah, I don't care if I cheat tonight because tomorrow is another day.
Now, do others notice a difference where if you don't go, like, will family see a difference in you like you feel, but and maybe in terms of like, do they see a difference in the attitude or anything like that?
Yeah, I think so. Like when I'm pretty hyper and uppity, um, more so when I am going than when I'm not, for sure, because you feel sluggish, and I feel sluggish if I don't go, and if I don't do anything, I just feel it's important to move, and make like I said, I'm going to make that priority. Like I need to move every day, and that 30 minutes is the best 30 minutes of my day.
How about sleeping? Any differences that you notice there?
Yeah, I do sleep a bit better. I mean, everyone says you should sleep so many hours, but once, I started kettlebell, I made sure to get my 7 to 8 hours. Rob would remind us how, sleep is just as important as moving, as working out. And I try to do that and try not to stay up as late, but I sleep better for sure.
Now, the other side of this too, where we were talking about, you have the energy obviously, and you have the mood is better, but what about your confidence? Like, is there bigger confidence in yourself?
Confidence, absolutely. I feel much more confident now. Obviously, people have noticed that I've lost some weight. It always feels good to hear you look good. I try to encourage others who don't feel so good about themselves. I'll go out of my way if my girlfriend needs to go for a walk, or if my daughter wants to, go to a healthy restaurant. I'll do what I can to try to make them feel good, because I know when I make healthy choices, I feel great. So I encourage others to do so.
Did you expect to see this type of results, this type of benefit from this?
No, no, and that's just it. I just feel that I know that the strength training is what's important. Like it's not, walking on a treadmill, big deal. You can walk for an hour, and no, it's about the weights, and strength training is. I realize that that's important for us as we get older.
That being said, with all the changes that you've made, from, the physical side, from the emotional side, from sleep, everything, would you go as far as to say that this has been life-changing for you?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I've, up and down, lost weight here and there, but not like this. Like I feel that I can keep it off, and do this. Like I said, I was in class with a 72-year-old. I want to be 70 and swinging the kettlebell. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like this is definitely different
Yeah, and you kept
than
it off too, the weight. So,
yes, and kept it off. And
right.
and if I go, and it's funny, I was away this weekend, and hey, I indulged, and I went to class today. Rob's like, hey, easy on, easy off. And you know what? He's right. I had an awesome class, and I'll make better choices today. I'm not at a party, so maybe I won't have an extra piece of cake, or whatnot. I'm back to normal, back to healthy choices and working out.
Well, speaking of Rob, I want to talk about him for a little bit. So, give me a few words or maybe a few phrases that describe who he is as a person.
He's a funny character. He's always making us laugh. Always has some one-liners. My favorite is when you're in class and you're straining and you're struggling and you're out of breath and whatnot. He's like, "That's okay. You can call me names. I don't mind. I know you hate me right now." Things like that. It's hilarious because yeah, we hate you. You're pushing us, but no, we don't really hate you. No, it's always making us laugh, and I love how he shares his personal journey. I love that. Like that's awesome. Like if your coach can do that, you can do that. Like he's a true testament to the change that people can make and maintain, and that's the important part, maintaining it.
Do you get a sense, you sense that, right, he's good at what he does, he's got some funny things about him, but does he really care about you and the others?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you can tell by he's always learning. He's always researching, always making sure he's up to date with his own style of teaching. And I can see when he steps it up a notch. Like we're not doing the same thing all the time.
Are there
So yeah,
moments, does he ever check in with you or do things like that? Like, going to a gym, I wouldn't have expected something like that.
yeah, he does actually. If we talk about something in class, I'm always asking questions because like silly fad things. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then I'll get an email and he'll shoot me an email of statistics and facts as to why you shouldn't do this or you should do this, or just giving us the facts of whatever we discuss. Like nobody goes out of the way and does that. Normally you go to a class, you're in and out, and that's it. But no, he's yeah, always checking in, always you know, you can tell he cares. Like he asks, hey, how was your weekend? How was this? Like we have a good relationship, I think. I think he does that, and I know I can see that he does with all of us, all of his students.
So overall, it sounds like you're pretty happy with your decision to join.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very happy. I'm really happy that I ran into my cousin that day.
Right.
Yeah, and like I said, it's 30 minutes, 4 times a week. Some people go three, some people go five. It's in and out. It's the start of my day, and then you just feel so good after that.
Let's say someone is thinking of joining, but they're not sure if it's right for them or they're on the fence. They're kind of, 50-50. What would you tell that person? Push them off the fence.
I would say it's absolutely worth it to give it a try. I feel great for taking that leap and giving it a shot. It doesn't hurt to try. The hard work will pay off. The results are worth it.
Well, Linda, thank you for taking the time to come on, share your story. Amazing to hear your journey, what you've done and not that long period of a time, and you're continuing to do it. And like I said, inspiration for the family and the kids, I think is great. And I want to wish you the best of luck with everything moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much.